what's up? This is Travel Chronicles, chapter 25, 26, somewhere around there. I'll get the title right. This is probably going to be the last one for the week, just because tomorrow's Friday, and I'm probably going to want to take it easy. I don't see much happening between now and tomorrow. That's anything can happen. Big thing at work. Had a server crash this week. Still working on it. Today's going to be the day where things either go well or we're a ways away from being able to actually run with the server. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not a mission critical type thing. You can still run stuff in manual. You just don't have any oversight, like administratively from an automation standpoint. So that kind of sucks. Other stuff going on, the news thing for the NASCAR driver, obviously that blew up. We started having some discussions at work a little bit, but then it got into like some deep state stuff. Like tinfoil hat type stuff, like right off the bat, and I was like, oh no, I don't know if I want to do this or not. But I guess the conspiracy, I'm always up for a good conspiracy. I am, and the one that's out there is, I don't know if it's the conspiracy or not, but George Soros is behind a lot of the stuff going on. Now, let me say this. I think the people that have a lot of money that have been in control of things in the past, and right, the general theory here is that George Soros didn't want, like whoever won between most elections is like that one Simpsons episode where two aliens had taken over the candidates. It was taken over like Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. And it didn't matter who won. The alien was gonna be the president, and and it was like, oh, here's a third party candidate. It's like, oh, don't throw your vote away on a third party candidate, even though, and it's like the two people were indistinguishable. Is essentially what it was saying, and that's still true today, right? 20 years later, or the 2012 election, like. If Mitt Romney had gotten elected or Barack Obama got reelected, like things are still going to go the same way. And when Trump got elected, then things went a different way because he wasn't under that influence. He hadn't been in the political spectrum before, and he kind of threw everything that they wanted to do into tailspin. So that's like I don't know if that's the deep state conspiracy theory, right? Where there's somebody 5 levels deep controlling things that's completely out of the spotlight. But here's my problems with George Soros trying to control the Black Lives Matter movement, if you want to call it that. Do I think he's against Trump? Yeah, I think he's 100% against Trump. But I don't know that the Koch brothers aren't against Trump as well. They just don't have a better option, and I don't think Trump is with the Koch brothers necessarily. That's like the two big money people on the right and the left. And the funny thing about Soros, I don't think he's naturally an American. I don't even know if he has American citizenship. He may not. But at one point in his life, he made $1 billion in a week off of money, off of just money exchange, betting against currency, essentially what it comes down to. And that's cool if you can pull something like that off. That's more money than I'll see, my family will see, my family's family. However many layers out you want to go, like that's a lot of money. The dude made it in a week, right? So he's got tons of money to just throw at dumb stuff if he wants to. But the real question is, why does he care that much? Why is it so important for people with money to not like go out and do it themselves, but try to work everything from behind the scenes? And I don't know, right? I've never been in that situation where I've had to do that. But I don't know. Like, I try to imagine. I'm not even sure. You know, that's why it's just so odd to me. Like, I completely understand. Like, there's, like, oh, you have Democrat, you have Republican, but the guiding ideology is probably still the same. And somehow, all right, George Soros wants one world order. You know, to be like the whole world is one nation. We're like, look at America, all right? We're probably like the most diverse population on the planet as a country. We've got people that came here from all over. We can't get along. Why would the whole world want to be one nation? It makes zero sense. We're light years away from being able to do something like that on this planet. Sorry. Like, we're not even close. Like, you would have to have, and like the European Union, right, like kind of started it that direction. Like, oh, look, all their currency came together, except for the British pound. They didn't really go for it. But you had the franc, and I'm not sure what like all that other currency just kind of went away, and everybody just went to the euro, which is cool now if you're traveling Europe, because you don't have to switch money every time you stop somewhere. You know, every time you cross a country, a border. But then when you go to England or Scotland or somewhere up there, it's the pound, so you have to have that. It's a little ridiculous that way. Anyway, I think the underlying goal then is to obviously get the currency to one currency, and somehow, some way, he's already figured out the way that he's going to make the money from that move, you know, from that tie-in, from having a lot of money in a certain currency, and then when it gets converted, it's all of a sudden worth more. I don't know, but I figure that's probably the end game for him. Is it worth putting all this money into the politics to see stuff through? Probably not, but there's probably there's also some stuff there about being able to hide the money. So, like, I spend $20 so I can hide $100. You know, some type of exchange like that, because if not, then I lose $60. Just lose it. So, I'm going to invest $20. I'm going to build some goodwill with people who are in charge, and buy some influence and get some things that I want. And then on the side, if I can also have some plans over here to make an extra $200 based on this $20 investment, then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to push for that pretty hard. So, maybe that's like the underlying motivation, I guess. Now, the part that they're trying, I don't know if they're trying to tie it into guys' work necessarily, but the racial stuff that's happening in the United States. Now, to me, complete anarchy is way worse. And maybe not. Maybe you want to have anarchy and chaos, but then the government's going to take over. It's not going to be some, hey, let's merge with this other government and see what's going on. Or, oh my goodness, this pandemic is so bad, let's shut everything down and put the economy in shambles, and then all of a sudden we're going to merge with Canada or something. That strategy doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. I think actually the path that Trump was on with the trade deals and things that he was working was probably going to be more of an impetus to push nations together to say, look, this isn't worth it, let's figure out something else and get closer and get more closely tied together. And if you have these giant trade disparities, just maybe then people are like, okay, let's go to the same currency base and work things out from there, and maybe get some resolution that way. I think you have a better chance of having one world currency than you do of having every nation together to start with. But even then, I think having separate trades, uneven trades, if you want to call it that, is probably the better route to go if you're going to eventually get to that point. The world's still a pretty separate place right now. I mean, and even if you look at this country, things are separate. Everybody's not all together. Even after the racial stuff that's happened here in the last month and a half, people are still divided, and now they're going back in opposite directions. And like the people, like I read some comments yesterday and stuff, like people are angry with NASCAR for what they did, and like, oh, I'm not going to watch any more NASCAR races. It's like, and I'm not going to watch any sports that people kneel at the flag. It's like, you completely missed the point. Like, it ain't about the flag. It ain't about kneeling. It ain't about NASCAR, everybody holding hands or whatever. There's deeper stuff that's wrong here that people just don't care about. They just want to look the other way, and if you can find one little thing to make somebody mad, then that's what they focus on. And all of a sudden, it's like having a huge dinner and a banquet or something. I don't know if this analogy is going to be any good either, but having this huge dinner, and there's one hair on the table, and somebody goes, oh my goodness, look at that hair. I'm not eating here. This is ridiculous. There's a hair. This is terrible. I'm out of here. And it's like, it's not even in the food. It's on the table. It's like, look at all this other stuff. It's like, no. You can't. Because this one little thing has caused me so many issues. It's like, really? Just knock it on the floor. You okay now? And people are going to be mad because they want to be mad. People are going to feel victimized because they want to feel victimized. But that doesn't fix anything. That doesn't solve any problems. All right. End of rant. I don't even know if that was coherent or not. I was just getting some stuff out there. Just getting some thoughts out. All right. Avoid the deep state. Watch out for COVID. See you later.